So the 4 days test, or you can call it the unofficial test between South African A and West Indies A, has kicked off. Day one happened today, and we were obviously, as a cricket fan base, I think most of us, or at least me, I was keeping an eye, close eye on it, and watching the game and checking what was happening with this particular side. There was a couple of players that I wanted to keep my eye on, see how they progress, see how they play, see how they conduct themselves against a decent West Indies attack, and a decent West Indies side with some players in this team obviously also going that play for the first West Indies 11 as well. Some of them actually played in the match, West Indies Test series, when they came down here recently. So we're going to discuss this day one, and clear up some things that people maybe questions people have about the squad, etc. That I saw, particularly on Facebook. There was a lot of questions asked about it throughout the day, and I tried to answer as best as possible, and give everybody an answer. But this is what that show is about. This is what the show is about, to be able to inform you guys about information that you maybe don't know. So before we get started, before we get going, please subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell for all future videos. It's very important that you guys do so. We are on the route to 5,000 subscribers, so please help us get there. And download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every single month. The link is right now on the screen as well as in the description. The latest issue is all about BMT, and I think it is a nice information from different coaches and players alike that give you insight into what big match temperament is and whether it is coachable or not. I think it's a great issue to give you guys some nice insight and give you some teach you some principles and mentality when it comes to the big match temperament as an idea, as a thought process. So please go ahead and do us a big favor and download the magazine and subscribe to all future issues as well. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video, and let's discuss the South Africa A versus West Indies A game, day one, that has kicked off today in Benoni, of course. Let's get straight into it. A very good evening and welcome to Cricket Fanatics magazine. This is your review daily show. I'm your host, Khalid Mohidin. And this is the show where we talk about everything that has to do with South Africa A versus the West Indies A, day one. Now, of course, day one has taken place and completed about, you could say, in about an hour, just over an hour ago. South Africa opted to bat first in this particular match, and it was an opportunity to see some players that we maybe haven't seen in the national colors, and also some guys that are trying to that we haven't seen in national colors for a while, and we wanted to see what they are obviously made of. um, Captain Neil Brunt took to the field with Tony DeZorzi, and Neil didn't last very long at the crease, although he didn't score many runs at the crease. He did face a couple of balls, 33 balls for his 5 runs, and then lost his wicket. But it was Tony DeZorzi today that was one of the stars of today's game with the bat. He scored 55 of 103 balls. Zubair Hamza played today. He's someone that is trying to get himself into the test arena after he was obviously omitted from the sides due to certain things that happened with regards to the ICC ban, etc. So he's obviously looking to get himself back into the swing of things. And it was I said it was in the live chat. I said it was a big game for him because I really think that he has the potential to really play an important role for South Africa in the future. But unfortunately, he only scored 30 of 61 balls. Keegan Peterson came back into this particular side, and I thought that he batted quite well in this particular game. Um, I think that he's someone that a lot of people might not have been on their side necessarily, on his side necessarily. He hasn't um, really cemented his spot with regards to the Proteas setup. I know he scored a 50s against India when India toured here in the last tour, and he was actually one of the main players that responsible for us getting victory against India in that particular series. And he was batting at number three. He then had a lot of injuries, COVID, etc., and then hasn't really cemented his place in the side. A lot of people would say that number five is maybe the position for him. And today, I think he showed signs of that. He came out and he was quite attacking from the start. He came out kind of playing an attacking brand. He was batting at over 100 strike rate, and he was looking good at the crease and looked good right through until wickets. You know, him and particularly David Bedingham looked really good at the crease. Um, Keegan got 59 of 91 balls in the end, but he started his innings off quite well. David Bedingham looked very good as well, but unfortunately lost his wicket 3 runs short of the 50, 3 runs short of his 50. He got 47 of 50 balls and he batted at quite a decent strike rate of 94. Um, but for me personally, when you think of that number five, we're hoping a lot of us probably as fans would be hoping that that number five spot will be sorted out before the India series. That some people will maybe put up their hands in this particular match, um, and maybe put up their hand for the India series for that number five spot because I still think that number five spot is up for grabs. I still think that nobody's really cemented it and made it their own. We've had Keegan Peterson in that position. We've had Ryan Rickleton in that position. So I think I'm still hoping that someone will really put up their hand and say, this particular position is mine. And I think David Bedingham has all the attributes to be able to make it his own. Unfortunately, not getting to that to a milestone today, going out for 47 runs. Clyde Fontaine was brilliant again. Brilliant today, showing the selectors why they picked him because there were some question marks over his position in the side. Um, 53 of 71 balls. He batted really well today, I think. Mapungwana didn't really face many balls and he lost his wicket for one. Viljoen, 17 of 21, then lost his wicket. Pitt, 5 of 30. And then Dwayne Olivier was left not out at the crease. So I don't know why another batter wasn't sent in and we finished on 287 for 9. I don't think there was anything communicated. Maybe on social media. I didn't check social media actually what they said about that. If Cricket South Africa actually updated us on the reason behind it. Um, but but I think we saw flashes. Yeah, we declared 287 for 9. We declared. So we saw flashes of brilliance today from some of the guys, but unfortunately not going on to score hundreds, converting those 50s into hundreds. But a good start, I think, for the series from that perspective with the bat. Everybody chipping in and getting themselves into form slowly. Um, just to answer some people's questions regarding the squad and the 11, we did a whole show on this when the squad was announced. And to reiterate what the squad is, here's the squad for you. Coach Shukri Conrad specifically mentioned that the reason this we picked this particular squad is with one eye on the New Zealand tour. Remember that our in the SA20 is taking some of our players away, and they won't be available. First 11, second 11, the backup 11s won't be available for that series. So the names that you see here are people that didn't get picked up in the SA20, or they, yeah, it's mainly people that didn't get picked up in the SA20. Some of them, luckily, are players that are Proteas or former Proteas, like Tony Zozozi is a Protea, Keegan Peterson a Protea, Zubair Hamza, former Protea. So Dwan Olivier, another one that you can throw into that bracket. So we have a lot of, and Dane Pitt is a former Protea as well. Huddersfield Yoon, okay, maybe not in this format. He made, I think, only a couple of test matches. Dane Patterson only a couple. So, and Kyle Zondo been around the Proteas arena, but Coach Shukri Khan also made it very clear that he needed some experience as well, um, if he wants to give New Zealand a good match. Um, the West Indies bowled decently, but I do think that a lot of the wickets were given to them. I do think that Jaden Seals and Akeem Jordan really bowled well. I mean, they were the top wicket takers, and they did bowl well. Sinclair also, the spin did seem to hamper some of our batters, particularly David Bedingham, who lost his wicket to spin, and Tony DeZorzi as well. So it's something that I think still for certain players they need to find ways on how to soak up the pressure um, when it comes to spin and go on the attacking mode to put pressure back on players. So yeah, just to clear up some things, we know that the SA20 is causing problems for our test series in New Zealand, and this particular squad was picked um, based on who's available for that particular New Zealand tour. So as I said, we declared on 287 for 9, and the West Indies finished the day on 27. I mean, on finished the day on. Oh, I don't like the scorecard. 46 for 0, and Chandapal is on 27, and McCaskey is on 17. So South Africa is going to have to go in there and try and bowl them out. Um, Huddersfield Yoon went for 31 runs in his 5 overs so far. Dane Pitt 5 runs for 0 wickets in his 2. So we're hoping, obviously, that South Africa can really pull it back, turn us into a contest. We did bat quite relatively slowly, so you want to give them an opportunity to try and chase this, and then put the total for us to chase back, or we try to bowl them out cheaply and then try and win this game. So the declaration doesn't seem all that bad for a 4-day game. It puts us it's an attacking decision and a brave decision, but it's a decision that they will hope that turns in their favor. Um, and let's see what happens with regards to that. For day 2, we'll obviously be watching day 2 for quite closely. So let me get into the live chat and see what you guys have to say. If we bowl like this, we can't any of the tests in New Zealand. What a shot from Neil Brunt to get out on a half volley. He was playing too conservative. He was playing quite conservatively. I thought that he would open up a lot quicker or a lot easier. It's very difficult on pitch vision to really see what the pitch is doing, like to see how difficult it was to bat on it or not. But based on the batters and their approaches, it wasn't necessarily a wicket that you could just come in and open up on. It seems that you have to get your eye in. Now South Africa will host 2024 Under 19 World Cup. We have a great chance to win. Was that announced today? Did I miss that? Let me just check something, guys. Sorry. Yeah, it was announced, but when was this announced? Did I announce it? Sure, but I missed this news. So that's pretty cool. I don't know how I missed that news today. Um, that's crazy. We didn't get any release about it either. So that's awesome. We got an under 19 World Cup. That will be great. It's like a preparation for the 2025. 2020, sorry, 2027 World Cup. That's the problem for Esther. They collapse after good starts. Harley, these 4-day series going to end on 5 December when squad will announce at least for white ball and we will again pick require in T20 series. Bro, you keep sorry Sam, I'm gonna get annoyed, but you've been asking me this question in the live chat every single day, in the live chat on Cricket South Africa's YouTube channel, in the comment section on YouTube, and now again. I did respond to you and I said, I will let you know as soon as I know. I don't have the answer at the moment. We haven't been told yet. And as soon as we get the answer and the squad is released, I will bring it to you. I'm not trying to hide information from you, or from you guys. So I will let you know as soon as I get the information. Did you see McAllister's bowling? Worst I've seen in a competition cricket for a long time. Plus, Harded, were you commenting during the live stream? Yes, I was. Sam says, Harded can coach Shukri, can talk with Sunrise is the cap for leaving Bavuma for New Zealand tour. In my opinion, Bavuma going to sit whole tournament because they have Rossington and Herman to open. Um, Unfortunately, there's nothing he can do because they are contracted, and the contracts, from what I've heard, the contracts are final, the decision's final, and they can't do anything about that. Holly, who are new faces you want to be in the T20 squad? Um, Donovan must be a. I want Donovan to be like a mainstay in there. I would like to see Dieval Brevis get pulled into it, um, and given some opportunities. I would like to see Tristan Stubbs back into the fold more often and get more opportunities. Gerald Coetzee, of course, Marco Janssen. I would like to see those guys get an opportunity and come into the fold. Should not judge the boys highly based on this performance, other than Seal's bowling was substandard. Butters are not converting starts into big unders, not capitalizing. Hopefully, they can get some momentum, and maybe in the second innings, they can do exactly that. Khalid, what's your thoughts on Sam says, Khalid, what's your thoughts on Aiden to bat at four in test because he is a player who is growing his game against spinners. So having Aiden at four going to real if fruitful for him as well as the team. I wouldn't want to change. Aiden is a great opener for in test cricket. I wouldn't want to change that. He's done really well for us in test cricket. I don't want to change things that don't need to be fixed. Lawrence Bailey is really impressed with quite a few players today. Turning to Josie just showing why he's our test number three. KP was nice and aggressive. Bellingham looked at home and Clyde counter attacking really well. Impressed. Yeah, I would like to see a lot more and see them convert their scores, but there's some good signs over here. The bowler says Rassi is a world class player. He's getting on. He's nearly 35. England axed Malan, who averages 55. What would you do, Khalid? I would I said I would like to start building for the 2027 World Cup. Now, whether Rassi will be too old by then or we don't know how he's going to be feeling. And I think how his body's going to feel or how he's going to feel. He's quite a fit guy. So I don't know how he's going to be feeling by then. But I would definitely prepare for that because anything can happen in those 4 years, especially because of the age. Now, I would definitely bring in an understudy at 3, someone that can get a couple of games under his belt, rotate him with Rassie van der Dussen, let him learn from Rassie van der Dussen, and and give him an opportunity to grow, learn, so that if Rassie does decide he's going to call it, or he gets injured, or something happens, we have a great future replacement. Teva Brevis would be the one that I would like to start working into the side. I know it's maybe a little bit too early for him, some people might say, but I think because of his attacking mentality, and I think with the way he's been performing for the Titans, I know it's only one season, but sometimes with talented players, you have to kind of see what they can do. Now, you can't just run around and give players debuts left, right, and center either. So they need to look and analyze and see whether he's ready. And if so, give him a chance. Otherwise, give an opportunities to someone that has been trialed and tested within the 1 day format for the last couple of years and been performing consistently. That's also another option that they can do. But I think that each player that is at a certain age should we should select a younger player behind him that gets game time as well. Particularly in the dead rubber games when we've already won a series or etc. Um, and get some game time under their belt and learn from the more senior player. And it should start now with this India series, in my opinion. Lawrence Bailey thinks that number 5 spot might be between Bedingham, KP, and Rickleton. In my opinion, KP probably the front runner due to experience. So SA really destroyed the talent of Yanaman Malan. I know he's not good against spinners, but he's a young, he can improve as Aiden, but his mentality is good in longer formats. He is perfect opener ODI. I don't think that SA destroyed Yanaman Malan. I think Yanaman just needs to find his form again because Yanaman has gone back to domestic cricket and hasn't put on the runs. It's up to Yanaman Malan what's going to happen with his career. It's not up to South Africa. It's not up to anybody else. It's up to the environment that he's in. It's up to his coaches, and it's up to him to turn things around. He's been going through a difficult patch, and we need to support him, guys, and boost him and give him confidence because he has all the ability in the world. We just need to see him do it more consistently again and get his form back in domestic cricket. We need to convert these starts. We saw the same pattern on Sri Lanka tour. Yeah, that's conversion is something that we need to do. It's something that we need to learn. Um, we've had some great starts today, and I would have liked to see at least one or two of them kick on and go score a century. Aiden should open in Test cricket because he's aggressive approach. I think Aiden's the perfect Aiden. Aiden's the perfect number 7. I'm an opener at the moment. Why change something if it's not broken at the moment? Because to go look for another opener is a lot harder right now. Why would we? We have a good number 4 in Temba Bavuma. Uh, he's doing really well in Test cricket in that position. Why change it? And you've got Aiden at that's opening the batting and doing really well. Why change it? It's confirmed SA will host World Cup. It was due to take place in Sri Lanka, but they got suspended by the ICC. Thank you, Lawrence. Yes, I just saw the news story and I did not get a release, but yeah, in my inbox. So yeah, I missed that news today because I was busy watching the game. Sam says, Khalid, who is going to next Proteas batting coach in Test? Ashim Amla or Ashwell Prince? Having Amla will be also good for Asian conditions because of his spin play. Ashwell Prince has been announced as the Test batting coach. So Ashwell Prince will be taking over that role. Hashim Amla is currently the coach at the Lions, batting coach at the Lions. Roderick says Peklikwayo should also be in T20I squad because Janssen can't be trusted in pressure situations, says Roderick. I think it's a bit early to judge Janssen on one World Cup. Um, He's a young player. I don't think we should pile too much pressure on him. I think he would have learned a lot from this experience. I've seen him in a lot of pressure situations take on the pressure and go and do the job. Something that he obviously needs to work on, and those are things that is at least that is something that he can work on. Suraj is not only Rasi, Pavuma, Muller, Riza, all 34 plus years old. Logic, we have players like Ethan Bosch and Bayer Swanepoel. Captain says, Sam, bro, look at the style Aiden plays with. He is best suited to open. Janssen is pure all rounder. He can open the bowling and bowl Yorkers too, and can bat too. And Pekhlakwa's bowling is not quite dependable, and his batting is also very inconsistent. What has happened to Olivier was bowling 150 in 2019. Now he's an average speed of 125. I'm actually quite surprised. I was quite surprised by that as well. Um, Apparently, when we interviewed him, he spoke a lot about learning to play, learning swing in England and stuff like that. But when he came back from England, he was like lost a lot of pace, which was quite startling to me. Captain said he started his career as an opener and he's enjoyed opening against the West Indies. He played well. We have base one Ethan Bosch. Lorenzo says Yannaman should definitely not be slept on. In fact, he'd be perfect for Vision 2027, to be honest. One great season of domestic cricket and he'll definitely be back. Yannaman can be our head up top. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. He's like, Yannaman needs to this go score the runs domestically, and I think he'll be back into the mix. I mean, everybody knows about his talent. He just now has to get some form back and get the runs on the board. If you keep changing players' position, it will be difficult to perform. To perform, clarity is needed. Siraj says South Africa needs proper attacking openers like Australia have Warner, Head, Rohit Sharma, Gill, Conway, Rashin Ravindra. South Africa needs that kind of attacking openers too. Um, Stuart says, I think we need a batting all rounder. Dean Forrester or Leandra Pretorius could be future options, but need to play provincial cricket. Well, we have Mikhlali Mapungwana. He just didn't come off today. I think he's a good batting all rounder. We just didn't see it in today's game, but I think he's very talented and he should be given more opportunities. Um, these two players that you mentioned here need to come up into Division 1 cricket, like you said, and then we'll see how they develop. There's time to obviously give these guys opportunity. We don't have to push everybody in right now. We need to make the best decisions for the current situation. Siraj's attacking opening batters will give South Africa's middle order batters like Markram, Klaus, and Miller quite a surety, and they can play freely. Yes, it is true. If he's bowling very slow, couldn't understand the reason behind it. I also can't understand the reason behind it and why he lost so much pace. Khalid, what's your thoughts on the series against Bangladesh coming up for the women? I am excited about it as well. Um, our women's team is in very good hands at the moment. I think now that it is professionalized and women are and the girls are earning and the women are earning salaries, I think that's a massive win for South Africa. I think our South African women's team is ahead of our men's team currently, in my opinion, with regards to the amount of talent that's coming through and the way they are bleeding into the international team. I think that the pipeline into international cricket is brilliant at the moment. You could see that by them making a final, the first ever South African team to make a final, which we were all very, very proud of. So I do think that our women's team is in great hands at the moment with regards to the structure. I'm still of the opinion that we maybe need a different change of guard at the top, with regards to the coach. He's been there for quite some time, and I think that some ideas are kind of seeming a little bit stagnant at the moment. And I think that they maybe need someone just to take them to that next level to help them win trophies now. Um, but at the same side, you try. I guess Cricket South Africa also want to be fair in that, where Coach Hilton has gotten us to a final, gotten us to a semi-final, and he really wants us. They want to give him that reward for getting us to that far. But yeah, there are certain things that maybe they can learn from someone to take the game to maybe another level up. But I think the talent pool is brilliant. I think our provincial setup is absolutely brilliant. It's very competitive. I know there's mainly the same teams that are winning, but the talent that's coming through the system is fantastic. So I'm really impressed with it. So excited to see what's going to happen against Bangladesh um, for the women's team. Horrible. We see Riley Rousseau T20 squad. He's the best attacking player. You need him for T20 World Cup next year. He probably will be in the squad. Ryan Nicholson is player. Is a need to focus. He can become a game changer at number 5. Please back him. Um, yes, but I don't understand what you guys mean by when you say focus on him. The instructions are pretty clear. Go perform in domestic cricket and you'll get your opportunity. Perform consistently at domestic level and you'll get your opportunity. So far, Coach Shukri and Coach Rob have proven that nobody has necessarily been um, nobody has necessarily been heavily overlooked. Now there can be some arguments. For example, someone like Alvarena, maybe George Linder, or some of the guys that perhaps have been snubbed in certain sides. But I'm pretty sure that this time around, um, I'm sure that Coach Shukri would have looked at Calvarena for this particular tour, for example, but he can't because of the SA20. And I'm sure he was in his mind, maybe thinking that he might not be picked up in that SA20, but in the end, he did get picked up. So Rajesh Mukhlali Mupukan is a bowling all-rounder. Then his batting records. Not in recent, not in recent times. I've been watching him, and he hasn't bowled as much. His batting has been a lot more reliable recently, in recent times. I don't see him as a bowling all rounder anymore. I think he's becoming more of a batting all rounder in that 7th slot at least. He's not bowling as much as he used to. So that is something I'm interested in. Is Deploy available? Louis Deploy. No, he's registered to England. Sorry, guys. Let me just wait. Rickerton should also get long run in the ODI setup, replacing the cock. He has the true potential. He has to go and prove it in domestic cricket. Every single opportunity that Ryan's gotten at the national level so far, he hasn't necessarily taken it by the scruff of the neck and really performed. Now, has he gotten a prolonged run in the national side? Consistent games? No, he hasn't. There has been a lot of chopping and changing. But unfortunately, with the situation that we are in, with the amount of cricket that we play, players need to take their chances when they get the opportunity. I know that's very hard and harsh, but it is the situation that we're in. Lorenzo says, I'm going to have the same energy with Mapungwana as I did with Brevis. We must not overhype these guys, as it will put unnecessary pressure on them. Antong was also a generational talent, and look what happened. I'm not hyping them up, and I'm not saying that he's the second coming of whoever. I haven't compared him to anybody else either. The same thing with Brevis. I didn't say he's baby AB and he looks like that he's going to be the next AB de Villiers. I look at the players individually. Now, I'm not trying to hype them up over here, but when young players show potential when it comes to big moments, or they show the knack of being brave and playing an attacking brand and not allowing themselves to be tied up or held back or suppressed, and they play with ultimate freedom, and you're in a transitional phase, I don't see why not give younger guys an opportunity, especially when there are still older guys around them to protect them. If you were now wiping the slate clean and just playing a whole lot of youngsters, and I think, okay, that's a different story. But I think now is the perfect time with some experienced guys around them that are still available to blood in youngsters. It's now better than any other time so that they can still learn and experience what it's like, um, to play alongside these players. You don't learn, you learn the best arena to learn in, the best place to learn is out there in the middle with an experienced guy that can then help you and teach you the ropes. Garnata is also 22 years of age, attacking talented opener. Not saying you overhyped him, Khalid, but I'm seeing loads of people do. Tim Delays and Poor certainly do, just like they and many others overrate Brevis as well. Let's wait and see if they um, consistent. I also don't know why people continue to cry about Riley. Then it's the same people who say we need a Travis Head like player up top. Go see if Head is consistent in T20 cricket. No, he's not. So that's a lesson that I'm kind of starting to learn with regards to certain types of players, and particularly in the T20 arena. To find that consistency from a player is difficult. So when you do have an X factor player that can win a game for you single handedly, you need to trust him and back him. So I think, my position has changed a little bit more with regards to Riley Rousseau, um, and the necessity for him in the side, etc. Um, Watching this World Cup, watching the T20 World Cup, I've noticed that and and learned from that mistake of judging that particular situation. Um, there's enough time for us to create the transition and to set up a transition, um, environment, a transitional environment for these youngsters. Similar with the T20 side, I think Riley Rousseau can take someone like Dewald under his wing. I want us to see these younger guys get opportunities if, but only if. So I'm someone that has identified them and looked at them and said, okay, cool. I think they're talented and I think I would like to back them, but I'm not the coach. So what I would, the only thing I can suggest is that the coach can look at these players, his coaching staff can have a look at these players, try to understand their mentality, look at how their technique is, how do they handle such pressure situations, and if they think they are ready for the step up, because only the coaches will know if they are ready for the step up or not, then give them an opportunity. So I just think there needs to be an awareness of that, that if they do think that these younger players have the ability to be able to step up and step in, then give them a chance while there's still experienced players around them. I don't want to see a situation where we lose out on our opportunity for our youngsters to learn from the players that have experienced things. This World Cup was a massive learning curve for these experienced players that we have in this side, and for the players that went on this World Cup tour. The T20 World Cup failures have been a great learning curve for the senior players that are in that side in the South African unit. It's the perfect experience and stories and messages and things that they learned from the opposition, etc., that can be passed on to the next generation. Why mess up that opportunity by not involving these youngsters into the setup before it's too late? Chetan says, please drop Avuma and Van der Dussen from T20 squad. They are slower than snails, which makes scoring tough. Either bring Klaassen as opener. Nah, I wouldn't do Klaassen as an opener. The guy doesn't open the batting. Attacking openers are in South African domestic circuit are Mikael Prince. Very young guys. He's literally like one tournament into his career. Like we can't be like just throwing youngsters into the deep end before they even hardly play domestic cricket. We need to give them domestic cricket opportunities first. Ethan Cunningham, Luandre Pretorius, Ryan Rickleton, Deva Brevis can open to Janaman Malan. Yeah, but Deva's best position is at 3. I think we saw that clearly in the List A competition. I mean, the Titans moved him from opening to number 3, and then he went on to score almost 300s in a row. Rickleton is the best replacement for Kundercock. I haven't seen his best in national colours. Need backing and some faith from the coach, and I think the coaches do back him. Siraj, I'm not going to answer this question because I answered it earlier on. I don't know, and I don't work for CSA or Cricket South Africa, so I don't know when the announcement is going to be made. I've asked the question, which is all I can do, and I'm waiting on a response to find out when it will take place. As soon as it is announced, I will announce it on here, and I will do a post on the site. We are pretty quick with regards to releasing that information to you guys. If you guys follow us on cricketfanaticsmag.com, you'll see that. So um, follow us on all platforms, and you'll get the update as soon as we get it. So yeah, I wouldn't want to withhold that information from you guys. So yeah. Matt 92 batting lineup for India Test Series. He says Alga, Dozorzi, Hamza, or Peterson, Pavuma, Bedingham, Rickleton. What about Aiden and Timba? Oh yeah, you got Timba. What about Aiden? Suraj says today's game needs fearless attacking approach to win big on the stage like ICC events. That's why Australia have won so many ICC tournaments. Suraj says I think Ryan Rickerton is South Africa's contracted player. I don't think Ryan Rickerton's contracted. I don't think Ryan Rickerton is contracted. For Test cricket at least. I remember correctly. Yeah, they did receive contracts. But I don't think it was for Test cricket. Yeah, for the limited overs format, they contracted. Um, he's for limited overs cricket, he's contracted, not for Test cricket. And we're currently talking a bit of Test cricket here. Um, but okay, it's strange that we don't see the fact that he's contracted and we haven't seen a lot of them in white ball cricket. Ryan Rickleton, Bjorn Fortuyn, the guys that are contracted, we haven't really seen much of them. Um, as well as Tristan Stubbs. So I'm hoping right now for this series that we're going to see them, um, particularly for the white ball stuff. Let's see, because I think right now it's a perfect opportunity for us to help get them experience in this particular format against a decent team like obviously like India. Would love to see more games domestically and A tours. Yeah, so there are. Okay, so currently Thursday, I think the 4-day arena is going to be starting again. the 4-day series kicks off again. I'll be going to Newlands, and I think there's also going to be games in Paul, so I'm going to have to like decide which which days to go to which. Paul is quite a long drive, so um, I'm gonna have to decide which days to go to which. But there are the 4-day cricket is starting again this week, so that's going to be probably on YouTube, so you guys to be able to watch. And there are a lot more A tours being spoken about. Um, so we crossing our fingers, hoping that we get more SAA tours, but there has been talk about it. Ryan Rickerton contacted. Then we can see Ryan Rickerton is next in line as replacement for Quinton Harley, brother. That's a possibility. Of course, it's a possibility. Donovan Ferreira is the white ball is in the white ball is also someone I think we need. I think that is someone that we need to consider. I've been speaking about it for a couple of episodes now. I think what he showed against Australia when they came here, I think I was impressed with that. I like his fearless approach and I like his mentality, and that he doesn't necessarily he's not scared of the occasion, and I like that. That's a great attribute to have. Donovan Ferreira is a real X Factor player. He can play big role for South Africa. We hope he can. We hope that he can. Guys, please subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell for all future videos. Please smash the like button as well, and comment and share. Don't forget to do that as well to make sure that we get into those YouTube algorithms. So yeah, day one of this particular game, I think a lot to learn, a lot of exciting things that we saw today. Some good starts. Hoping that I would have liked to see a little bit more of players convert their scores than actually than did. Convert those 50s into 100s, etc. Hopefully, in the second innings, we see a lot more of that. And let's see what happens on day two if our bowlers can do a job and bowl West Indies out for a low total or close to what we scored, so that we can go back in and try to play an attacking brand. And I think Coach Shukri Khan will probably try to instill that into his players' mindsets. Um, I do think that the players he selected as well have the ability within them to turn things on when they need to. They have those ability, definitely have that ability in them. All the players that he has selected. So yeah, let's hope and see, wait and see what day two will bring us. And I'll be back again tomorrow with another review show on the game. Thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Stay safe, enjoy the rest of the game, enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Stay safe. Peace out, everyone.